Have you ever realized that no matter how hard you try, you seem to fail? If you're anything like me, you get to the point where Paul was at, where he said, "O wretched man that I am, who shall deliver me from this body of death?" But the good news is, even though we fail, God sees us as righteous. I want to share some encouragement from Isaiah chapter 60. Isaiah 60 verse 21 says, "Thy people also shall be all righteous. They shall inherit the land forever, the branch of my planting, the work of my hands, that I may be glorified." Notice he says, "Thy people also shall be all righteous." Today, we're in this world. We sin, we fall short. But the good news is someday we'll be in heaven where we can worship God freely without any sin. Think about a time when you're in worship. At least I know it's true for me. It's hard to sing completely from my heart, wholeheartedly for the Lord, because at the same time I have voices in my mind saying, who's hearing me? Do they think it's good? Do they think it's bad? If I raise my hands, are they noticing? Should I do it because they do notice? Should I do it so that I don't care? And there's all sorts of contentions within me. But in heaven, we'll be able to worship the Lord wholeheartedly, without ever having to think about anything else or anyone else, just focusing on the Lord. I can't wait until that day. But what is righteousness? Righteousness comes through Jesus' blood. That is how we are made righteous. It's not something we can do. It's something he did once. And so many times I forget that. I go through my day thinking, what can I do to be righteous? How can I make myself righteous? What can I do to do things correctly? And that's an okay mindset. I should be striving to do the right thing. But I seem to have the wrong motive, forgetting that he made me righteous. He sees me as righteous. And that's why I want to live righteously. I tell myself that all the time, but I don't seem to live it. When I fail, I think, I'm the worst person in the world. But guess what? We do fail. We're human. We just fail. That's what it is. But he sees us as righteous already. Even though we do fail. Every time that I sin, Jesus died for that sin. He did it once for all. Every single sin was laid upon him. So why do I need to earn anything that he's already earned? Righteousness comes through faith. We do need to work to maintain a healthy relationship with the Lord, but it's not something that we earn. His relationship, his love for us, does not come through any earning. He died while we were yet sinners. And now that we're righteous, it's the same love. He still loves us the same no matter what. Notice in Isaiah chapter 60, it says, "the branch of my planting." It's something he's done, something only he can do, not something we can do. And the symbolism of a plant and a gardener is used so many times in the New Testament, and it's just perfect representation of God's love for us. He's a gardener. He takes care of his plants. He trims them at times. It may hurt. The plants may suffer a little bit. But if you don't trim a plant, they don't flower as much. They don't produce as much fruit. For example, blueberries. We were just blueberry picking today. If the blueberry bushes are trimmed, they produce more fruit. In the same way, when God chastises us, when he scolds us, when he reprimands us, it's to bring more fruit. But why? Why do we need to be righteous? It's really, the answer is right there in the verse. That I may be glorified. That God may be glorified through us. Now let's think about that for a minute. If I made something, would I want to be joyful in what I made? Would I want people to look at it and say, wow, that was made by Zach. Think about it yourself. If you made something, would you want someone to look at it and say, wow, you made that? I know I would. And God is the same way. He made something, and he wants to be glorified in it. But what's amazing about it is we sin. We do the wrong thing. I love to use this example. If I built a Lego city and had it perfect, and then all of a sudden, all of the little Lego minifigures decided to start destroying the city, do everything I told them not to do, could I love them enough to die for them? And that's what God did. But he goes a step further. Isaiah chapter 61 says, I will greatly rejoice in the Lord. My soul shall be joyful in my God. For he hath clothed me with the garments of salvation. He hath covered me with the robe of righteousness. As a bridegroom decketh himself with ornaments, and as a bride adorneth herself with her jewels. He didn't just die for us. That was amazing as it is. He saved us. But then he clothed us in righteousness, so that we can live with him forever, in his righteousness. Back to a farmer. A farmer takes care of his plants. He takes care of his garden. And he makes it into what it is supposed to be. It is hard to live righteously. It is very hard. And every day, that's really my wish, is I want to live righteously. But even though we fail, even though we fall short, God still loves us, and he sees me, he sees you, and he sees all of us as righteous. This is the rightness of righteousness.